if I had a little bit more money and time, my thing would be to do animal rescues. I've always done that charity. I used ooh, college world. Oh, ooh. Ooh. I used to do the what was I saying? Yeah, I used to do tons of benefits for a group around here that they called Whiskas. And doing the Whiskas benefits was great because I've always had a close spiritual bond with animals, especially cats. And dogs too. I mean, don't forget, I know I don't talk, I just don't have one yet. I'll probably get one. And I'm scared to get a dog because I can get really verbose with a dog. You can get hands on, I could slap it. I could fucking antagonize it. Who fucking loves you, huh? Who fucking loves you? Who fucking loves you? Watch the thing run around the yard. Yes, you're a stupid dog, but I love you. And I love the animals. And when you live in the inner city, you know, I can't even stand seeing rats and birds on this side of the fucking street that got hit, like roadkill. It ruins my fucking day. And it makes me think how people are careless with their animals, and it makes me really fucking sad. But I would do that. And when the Whiskers benefit would come up, we'd play the Queen Elizabeth II. We'd play QE2, and they would do special shit for that. You'd get paid a little bit more. Sometimes it was free, you'd do it, but sometimes they'd pay you, which was crazy. And they'd give you top bill, and they'd usually tack on 15 bands to make it an all-day thing. And the club owners asked you to do it, but I was always first in line. And out front, it was like Sid and Nancy. They'd be giving out cats, used cats. One of the first times I seen Sue, she was out there with like 2 or 3 cats, and I'm like, that's a bad idea. That girl hates cats. Something wrong with her. She went after my cat once. I almost put her down. I was like, bitch, that's crossing the line. Because, you know, people with, just like my band, they grew up without animals, and it's fucked up to see how people relate to animals that never had any. What is that, a cat? Oh, okay, let me be loud and stomp around it and act fucking weird. If the cat scratches you, you know, because you're being a prick. But my band was all allergic to my cats. They used to come over and have to take Claritin, and it was just constant sneezing and coughing. But they came around anyway. It was cool. But I love these fucking animals, and I'm amassing a little fucking a little feline nursery over here because there was one cat that I seen the other day, and it looked like he got hit by a car, and I did not like that. But he must have just got hit a little because 2 days have gone by, and he's no longer hopping. He's walking now, but he's doing stupid shit like laying underneath the cars in the hot sun. And there's some really nice people that keep coming by and feeding him. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to feed him. So I started feeding him out the back, big plates of dry food and water. And he's been coming around. He looks like my Cowie. He's an older cat. And makes me feel good. I would do shit like rescue animals from a fucking, from the pound. And just you know, sneak them, smuggle them out of there and drive them to the fucking mountains. Or drive them out to a farm and just let them go. That would make me real. That would be like smuggling, what smuggling cocaine is to some people. That would make me feel real good. I'd be like, oh, be free, little fuckers. Yeah. Because if you ever been to an animal shelter, they have the animal graveyard there, and it's like the Vietnam Wall in fucking Washington. 10,000 animals were euthanized. Fuck that. I got my little Salem from there, and he's fucked. Somebody did nasty shit to him. He was only a fucking 2 months old. But he's not right. You know, I put some Frontline on him the other day, and he took it real personal. He flipped shit. And then the fireworks started, so he's been living in the basement for the past 7 days. He won't come out. He's totally pissed at me. He's like, you violated my feline trust. I was like, I know. But it makes me feel good to do that. I love animals. I don't care. I could literally watch someone die on the sidewalk, and it would be funny to me. I mean, everybody knows this about me, how I have no compassion for most people. And and it's a weird, but there are also famous killers like me too that are totally into animals and they feel no empathy for fucking people, which I don't fucking feel. But let me tell you this much, like, on days like this in the summertime, even though I want to go to California and I want to go to Hawaii and I want to go to all these great places, you probably see me in the air-conditioned rooms. I just want the sights and sounds of it because I don't agree well with the heat. One time we went to the fucking Six Flags in Jersey with my family. My mother had a heat stroke during the drive-through zoo. And she had to get out of the car, and there's tigers everywhere walking around. And they came out with guns and had to put an animal down. And yeah, I'm like that too. Ever since I was little, you know, my blood runs hot, and I don't agree well with the heat. And on a day like today, I mean, what does it say? It's 80. Yeah, it's 86, but it's really not. It feels like 110 with the fucking humidity, and everybody feels it. And it just reminds me of being a youth where my mother enrolled me for some strange reason into the boys club program where it's like for a little bit of money you could go to Altamont with inner city kids. Altamont is one of the farms around here. And in the Helderberg Mountains, where there's a lot of... Don't park there, you guys. There's a big sign there. In the Helderberg Mountains... Oh, undercover. 187 on an undercover cop. There he goes, undercover. Yeah, but she would send you out to these... And it was weird because it's all farmland. You're up in the mountains. And they had this, I told this story before, but I'll never forget it. And I just want to do it for my memory. Camp Lovejoy. And it was I used to get my ass beat there every day by huge fat black kids. And I would get migraine headaches from the fucking heat. Because you're out in an open fucking field. Wow, this is a real hot spot today. You're out in an open field, and it's like 110 degrees. I'm like 9 years old. And I would get headaches so bad that I would come home and hallucinate. And I think I got a TBI or a head trauma one year from getting beat up there. Because after that year, I never got right after that one beating I took by this kid Caesar, this big fat kid. And you'd be in there, and they didn't have any irrigation for like water fountains, and they had, I mean, you can imagine what the boys club has. And they would get everything from the government programs, and it was staffed by criminals, you know, all these hardened cocaine criminals, and you'd get like a paper cup full of apple juice, like, all day. And you would eat in it, and the food sucked, and it tasted fucking weird. And you had to do shit in the hot sun. It was like a labor camp. I fucking hated it. I went there for years. And, holy shit, yeah. And they had no irrigation for, like, water. They had, like... I think they had toilets that worked, but that's it. But for the water, all the water came from this pond, this big pond in the middle of a farm. And there was pond scum in it. There was fish in it. It was disgusting. And what they would do is throw these huge chlorine tablets into the pond. And you would go to the water fountain, and you could literally see the pipes going into the pond, and big tablets of chlorine floating in the pool. And as you drank it, it tasted like chlorine. And as a kid, I knew this is not fucking right. This is not right. But that's what these summers remind me of. I remember, and then my parents decided it was a good idea to give me guitar lessons at the same time when I was about 9 years old. And I remember going to see my guitar teacher, who I loved and adored, but I kept falling asleep during fucking guitar lessons. He's like, hey, buddy, you got narcolepsy? You know, why are you so tired? And I would tell him, how many times does this fucking thing need to go by? Every time I do an episode. Yeah, but I'll never forget. I'll never forget the. I'll never forget fucking. Yeah. I'll never forget hallucinating from migraines. I mean, some of my earliest memories are hallucinating from migraine headaches. And they went away one year. But it makes me wonder, did that fucking kid give me a TBI? Traumatic brain injury? Come on, asshole. Don't park there. Jesus Christ. Learn to use that fucking thing appropriately. Don't demo that shit here. Jesus, fuck, that's annoying. Fucking annoying. But yeah, I mean, isn't that hell of a first memories? It's kind of, yeah, I fucking agree with all you. You're all fucking that real here. That's what it looks like to be. We're all fucked here, huh? The fucking driving, fucker. Yeah. Come on, asshole. Yeah, get the fuck off my street. This is a quiet neighborhood, piece of shit. Jesus fucking. See how annoying this shit gets around fucking noon? But I mean, yeah, and then I have schizoaffective disorder that creeps into my teens, and it's just been a history of just hallucinations and paranoia and disrupted belief systems and inflated egos and flights of fancy and grandiose thoughts. And it sounds enjoyable, doesn't it? But it's not enjoyable at all. But I often wonder about that. I couldn't take aspirin back then, so I had to take the kids' St. Joseph's chewable aspirins and eat like 24 of them at a time. That's dangerous. How you doing, buddy? It's totally dangerous. I don't even. I mean, even for kids. I mean, if the kids are sweating like that, and the kids are. Jesus. And I remember the one time, I don't know why this memory always sticks with me, but here he comes again. Yeah, but the one time, I swear to God, I was parched as a kid. I'm like, and they're coming out and they gather you in these wooden buildings. And one time I fucking got a big sliver under my knee. It's still there. And it was just a dangerous environment, you know? And I'm just parched and I'm like 9 years old and shit. I said to the guy, I'm like, he's coming out and he's pouring apple juice into everybody's little plastic cup, like 4-ounce cup or whatever they are. It's just these little shitty cups that from apple juice they get from the government. I said to him, is this cold? And he looked at me and he bent down and he was sweating. I said to him, is this cold? He looked at me and he goes, it's ice cold, fucker. And he poured my juice and I'm like, oh, good. And then I took a sip of it and it was totally piss warm. I'm like, why would he tell me it's ice cold? I don't know. It just, you know. And that's where I heard a lot of the first hip hop songs was I Can't Lovejoy from all the, believe me, I know they were criminals because they worked for the YMCA and they were always talking about coke and shit around the kids, and they'd be listening to the Boogie Brothers and they'd be listening to the Jungle Brothers and they'd be listening to these old house hip hop mixes out there. And even on the bus, as your counselors, or I forget what they call them, the chaperones or something like that. And they had these incredibly urban songs. It was fucking weird. Just a whole mess of black kids, black counselors in the fucking in a farm in upstate New York. Look that shit up on YouTube. I'm sure it's great now, but all right, you know what? Fuck this video.